Hey everyone, this is Brett Favre, Green Bay Packers Super Bowl champion, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packers content. Go Packers.
What's up, guys? Welcome into the PTA Postgame Show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. Join alongside Emilio in Tennessee. We got Tim in Green Bay here to talk about this heartbreaker. Packers drop to the Eagles in the wild card round of the playoffs. Tough loss all the way around. Boy, there's no denying the Eagles were the better team. I feel really comfortable saying that. Were there some bad calls? Yes, there were. And if you don't believe me, go to Twitter. Boy, it's on fire right now. And some pretty notable people commenting on it as well. We usually try to start the post-game show off with, all right, what happened? Why did it happen? Let's go around the room. What did you guys see happen this evening? I just want to say this. We're starting late. We were reading your all's comments. We were crying, laughing in here before we started the show because the comments are just off the chain tonight. It was unbelievable. King Tron with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, Jacobs, Watson, Reed, Love, Jenkins, Myers, Quay, Jair, Dobbs. Make a roster out of what's left. You don't win a quarter of football all year. On to the draft. Very well said there, King Tron. Again, you had injuries across the board tonight. People dropping like flies. I want to say this. I do want to lead the show off with this, man. Boy, oh boy. Josh Myers, that injury, that broke my damn heart.
Yeah, man.
And you guys know we've talked about it. Like his teammates, what was the award they voted him for? Like it's almost like a favorite teammate award, right? And overcoming things this year, kind of that strength award. The fact that he shatters his leg 3 minutes before he hits free agency, the same year that his dad passes away. Man, and you guys know my opinion of Josh Myers is I think that we should move on from him. I've said that all year long. But when you see something like that happen to somebody, man, I don't know how you guys feel, but that crushed me, man. It absolutely crushed me.
It's tough. That's career altering. You know, it's just crummy timing. For a guy like him in the position that he's in, you know, literally both the position that he plays and, you know, like where he is as far as the trajectory of his career right now. And, you know, that's multiple months of rehab and surgeries, and he's got a long road ahead of him. And it's tough because he's still kind of, you know, in that middle stage of his development, you know, as a player in this league. So, we don't know where he's going to play ball again or if he's going to play again. You know, we don't know how serious it even is at this point. It just looks like really bad. So we got to put our prayers up for Josh for sure, man.
Lower leg bending sideways when it's, you know, really meant to go forward and back is not ideal. So, you know, exactly, prayers up for him.
Yep.
Yeah, that was probably, you know, listen, it sucks losing the game. Don't get me wrong. If you guys follow this show, you know, all week long, I've been pretty straightforward. I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I've been pretty straightforward that, look, nobody's giving you a snowball chances in hell of winning this ball game. But as devastating as that loss was, when I seen it happen to Josh Myers, it was like, golly, boy, this really, really sucks.
Dan said it. I'm the one guy on the Myers sucks list, and I will admit that, but my heart hurt too seeing that at Clayton.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. Yeah. And again, is he going to be able to make money if his career is over? And I don't think there's no reason to think his career is over. Yes, he'll be able to make a living. It's not like he's going to be, you know, but when you see someone who works their ass off their entire life to get to this point, and then you've seen a little bit of ups, but mostly downs at the NFL level, and we've always thrown in that caveat of, hey, man, he's got this athletic ability that if he hits free agency, he's probably going to make a pretty good chunk of change, and we're probably not willing to pay him that chunk of change, right? It's just tough to see, man. It is. So thoughts and prayers out to Josh Myers, man. Absolutely sucks. And Romeo Dobbs, man, that looks scary too. Yeah. Am I wrong there? You know, when he hit the ground, I knew his head hit, but I didn't think too much of it. But the longer he stayed down, I was like, oh, man, that might be that could be career altering too. I could be wrong, but that kind of made me feel Emilio like the whole Tua situation. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of saw those hands kind of roll up into fists. You know what I mean? Like you said, sort of the Tua situation. Not exactly it, but absolutely hate to see that for Romeo going up there trying to make a play on the ball. And just fell awkwardly, and Hurts too. I mean, when he fell on it and hit it, but just tough for Romeo, man. I just really hoping for all our guys. Josh, Romeo, Reed, that didn't look good either on his his shoulder collarbone. I like we were saying that where it was kind of pointing to, and then it's just war of attrition, and we took a lot of shots this game. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, King Tron, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Elder Grimm, hope you're doing well, man. I know you had the surgery and everything. Hopefully everything's going good there. He said, got to get this out of the way early. Change my mind. Malik Willis wins that game with how the D played. For me, I don't feel confident saying that Willis would win that game. But I will tell you this, Jordan Love played like cheeks. There's no getting around that. There's no denying that.
Right.
Will Malik Willis, would he have won that game? Think about how the interceptions happened, right? The one to Wicks, I don't know how you guys feel, and we'll go around the horn with this. Maybe it's the best way to answer this question or comment on this. The deep shot to Wicks, I had no problem with. I felt like it was a decent ball, right? First of all, was it Slay that picked it off? Am I thinking right? Hell of a play by Slay. You'd like to see Wicks fight for that ball a little bit more. If worst case scenario, kind of play defense a little bit. But I don't think he was expecting Slay to make the play he did. I mean, it just kind of stuck to his chest, right? So I'm not saying it's a positive play by no stretch of the imagination. That one I don't have a problem with because it's like, hey, the way they were playing D early, just take a shot. Let's see if we can loosen up. And you had
basically a punt. It ended up being a punt, and just and then the D stopped him after that drive too. Then they forced them to punt, so it was just a flip of the field. But yeah, no, I got you.
The one to Zach Bond though, I was like, Lord have mercy. This was bad. This is real bad. So anyway, anything you got to add to that comment there, Tim? Anything at all, man?
I'm not going to go out on that limb and say that Malik Willis wins that game for us. I do get the sentiment though. The defense, played their balls off, man. They left it all out there, and it's not to take anything away. Jay Money was not Jay Money tonight. He was, Jay $2 and some change maybe tonight. So yeah, I'm not going to gloss over that fact. But I don't think I'm willing to be, jumping off to extremes and stuff like that, saying that we need to make a change at QB1. I don't believe that at all. But tough to defend Jordan's play tonight. Some real bad decisions and some bad moments of indecision that cost us sacks and turnovers in this game. So late throws over the middle will screw us every time, just like they did last year. Our season ended with late over the middle interceptions, and kind of did tonight too.
Ended the same way with Aaron too. Remember that against the Niners, late over the middle to Tay and throwing the pick there. It's a common theme for sure. The other thing that stood out to me about Jordan Love's play too, since we're on the topic, is we talked about it in our chat. I know passing up on the scrambling. Like there's a couple of times he could have tucked that thing and ran, and just kind of whipped it out to the sideline behind Emmanuel Wilson on that one. Right. It's like, Bob, what are we doing here? So yeah, that was it was probably a top 3 worst game I've ever seen Jordan Love play. I feel comfortable saying that.
For sure.
Thank you for the super chat.
That pick over the middle to Bond was probably the worst I've seen him throw, I think, other than maybe that one in San Fran last year. Yeah,
right. The one in Detroit, or the one against Detroit's the one that gets me, where he just kind of flung it.
Yeah, that one was bad too. Yep.
Yeah. So there's definitely a few of them. Again, Elgrim, thank you, buddy. Hope you're healing well, man. Good to see you in here. Josh Martin with the super chat. LaFleur experiment needs to end. Love inaccurate.
He can block.
LaFleur can block.
No, but yeah, that's a stretch, Josh. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's. I agree with 50% of that. Love was inaccurate today, but Matt LaFleur, the experiment does not need to end. It's not an experiment. He was brought in here to coach this team, and I think he's going to be the coach for the foreseeable future. So give him a chance to cook here. We got another draft coming up. got home draft advantage coming in Green Bay. So we'll see. We got a little bit of changing of the guard in the front office. We've got some moves to make with our awesome GM who's going to bring in some talent. And I don't think there's any reason to panic right now. I really don't.
Do you think it's fair if I'm playing devil's advocate, and we'll get to Josh Martin super chat real quick? We deferred the kick, not in the way, or I'm sorry, we accepted the kick, and then we went around and did not run on first down. We passed on first down, and then we
didn't accept the kick. We lost the coin toss.
Oh, yeah, we lost the coin toss.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that was one of the reasons. I'm just saying it felt like we set ourselves up for just getting all the crap that we're getting right now, which I really wish we didn't. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Just did we set ourselves up for failure or what?
I've got it charted, and so like you said, we lost the coin toss. They deferred, so we were forced to take the ball first, right? Opening kickoff, you fumble, right? So is that on LaFleur? I don't think it's on LaFleur, right? First drive that we do get the ball, the very first drive, you had a first down incompletion. You end up having a punt, right? If I remember correctly. The second drive, you had a 3rd and 3 situation. Jordan Love takes a sack and lost like 13 or 14 yards. So on that 3rd and 3, should your quarterback be taking a sack on 3rd and 3? We'll have to go look at the tape. It's a boring answer, but I want to look at the all-22 before I go run the guy out of town. You know what I mean? You like an opportunity to run the football on a 3rd and 3, but at the same time, it wasn't like Josh Jacobs was just running loose all night. I felt like they had him bottled up pretty good. I know Mandy said to me one time, she said, dang, like how many guys did they have on the field? It felt like they were playing with 16 people on defense when we'd hand the ball off, right?
Yeah.
And they did, man. They're a good defense. They're the best defense in the league, according to EPA per dropback. That's the other thing that many people were not taking into consideration. And that's, again, I'm always going to look at it from a realistic standpoint. And I seen y'all have one marked in here where somebody, Nate, I think I know who that Nate is. He's one that has followed me around for 3 years. But he said, Clayton told me all week long it was going to be all right, F out of here. When did I say that the Packers are going to beat the Eagles? Can somebody help me there? Did I say that this week? Did I say the Packers are going to win this game?
I said it.
Maybe I had – Tim said it. He's owning up, right?
I said it.
Emilio, am I wrong? Did I say, hey, the Packers are going to beat the Eagles?
No, I'm pretty sure that you said we got no one's giving us a fighting chance. Let's see what we can do out there.
Right. Exactly. So that FOH, no, you FOH, bro. It's real simple. Real simple. Stop following me around. Let's try that for once. How about that? Again, you're talking about a team that nobody gave you a chance to beat. We're coming in banged up, but the whole NFL is banged up, right? You go out there and you lose the turnover differential 5-0 if you count the turnover on downs, right? You fumble the opening kickoff. Like, I'm confused. At what point did someone tell these fans that we were going to win this game? And I'm genuinely asking. Like, it's amazing how the same people who are constantly talking about how bad this team is are the ones that as soon as they lose to a superior opponent are like, yeah, look, tell us everything's going to be good. What? Nobody told you they were going to beat the Eagles. The Eagles are one of the best teams in the league. So this isn't directed at everyone.
Again, you didn't say that. I did. I said in the pregame that I thought we could win this game,
And there was fans in the chat.
Crucify me all you want for believing in my team. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And there was fans in the chat saying the same thing, right, Tim? Hey, I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them. We're going to win. We're going to win this game, right? So what you're going to get on this podcast is people being real. Tim thinks his team's going to win. He's going to say it. If I think that we're the youngest team in the league, and I don't know, this game's been played 100 damn years, and the youngest team in the league has never won a Super Bowl, and we go into a playoff matchup against a team that I'm kind of looking at and going, boy, it's going to take a lot to beat this team, and then you're going to come in here and act like the damn sky's falling. I'm in good spirits. You need texting with people during the game. I need people to understand this. If you're going to text me 8 consecutive text messages about our team's soft, this team sucks, this organization's trash, stop texting me. Notice I didn't text you and go, hey, man, what do you think about this? Like, it's real simple, right? And again, that's not the fans text line. That's people I personally know that I finally had to go off tonight. Like, you guys are living in fairy tale land with the expectations you're putting on a team that isn't there yet. We said it 6 weeks ago. I said it 6 weeks ago. I'm going to be the one to say this. We are still 1 to 2 years away. I think next year the window's open. We got to get a couple key pieces. But this whole living in fairy tale land, like we're just going to all of a sudden rise to the occasion and we're going to boat race a better team is just, it's silly. It's nonsense. And it makes us look silly as a fan base. But Mike Hebring with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, who is the real J Love? Late 2023 or 2024? That's a great question, Mike. Because late 2023 looked like a top 3, top 5 quarterback. 2024 to me looked like exactly where the numbers would suggest, probably between 15 and 20 range. How do you guys feel about that? We'll start with you up there, Emilio.
Yeah, I guess it'd still be kind of tough to say. Late performance, no, but we find these stretches where we like him and where he is, performing up to where we need him. I would say my fate is still, late 2023, where he's carrying the team. I think he still has that. And I'm still, strong on where this team is heading, but a brutal way to go and a really rough game by Love. I think he's going to say the same thing. When he gets up there to do his interview or whatever, he's going to say that he played a bad game. He should have had those bad decisions. All those are going to be on there. And I think that, we've had 2 back-to-back tough enders and tough kind of performances for him in the playoffs. I think that's something that, it could be maybe one of those Lombardi, we're not going to lose another one sort of thing to move on from. But it's not like other great, quarterbacks haven't lost in the playoffs. It's true.
So you think we still have that love from late 2023?
The performance the past couple weeks, no, but yeah, I think it is in him. Yeah, 100%.
Good deal. Go ahead, Tim. What do you think, Bo?
I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Emilio. I think he's still the dude, and I'm not going to let 4 to 6 weeks of shaky football throw everything out the window when it comes to Jordan. So I still believe in him, but time will tell. We've got to put a line in front of him. And we had some major setbacks tonight with injury. But I think if we, put the type of offensive line Jalen Hurts has in front of him, in front of Jordan Love, I think we're having a lot of different conversations. And we need to be patient. Second year as a starter, I'm not going to go doom and gloom. And if that's how you want a fan, that's cool. More power to you. But you'll probably feel more comfortable rooting for the Bears because that's what they do. They burn it down every 2 or 3 years and they find somebody new and they quit on the process. They have no leadership, no accountability. So that's why I don't lean that way. I'm going to choose to believe. There's a reason we gave him the bag. You can agree to disagree. That's cool. But I'm not ready to cut and run just yet from Jordan. I think we still got late 23 Love in there somewhere.
Got it. And to me, the boring answer would be right in between is where I'm at. I'm not convinced we still have late 2023, but I'm also taking into account that Jordan Love, had the MCL injury this year. He missed significant time. He's without Christian Watson. Well, I'll tell you this, man. One thing I did learn tonight, Tim, is when Elton Jenkins went down, I've taken Elton Jenkins for granted because when he went down, that offensive line, is it just me or did it seem to absolutely
holy crap, man? You don't know what you got till it's gone. Holy cow.
I would have never thought a left guard plays that big of a role, but it was just like everything imploded at that
out of sync. It was bad. It affected the run and the pass game. We didn't exactly, getting pretty much the worst performance we've seen all year from Zach Tom tonight didn't help either on top of it. And yeah, man, that things looked really out of whack when Elton went down.
Yeah, definitely. And again, Mike, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Randy Cleavers with the super chat. You are the man. He says, next year will be better. I agree, man. You're talking about, on paper, 60-some million in cap space. It'll probably be closer to 40-some when you get the roster, when you get the guys that you need to re-sign. So you're going to have some maneuverability to hopefully go out and shop a little bit in free agency like we did if the right players are out there, right? I'm not saying, overpay for good. We'll always overpay for great, but never overpay for good. But you go out there and let's say you find someone like the next Josh Jacobs or Xavier McKinney. If you just get one at a key position, right? I think it can make all the difference in the world. I really do it. And you guys know where I stand there. For me, it's top of the list is at 3 tech. Did you guys notice how Jalen Hurts outside of Rashawn Gary getting his sack and Rashawn Gary with the pressure? Then they had to simulate pressure with Edgerrin Cooper. That was a second down pressure by Gary. Third down pressure by Cooper led to a punt, right? And then Gary gets the sack. Didn't Gary have a sack? Am I thinking right?
He sure did. Sure did.
Gary had a sack later. But you notice how other than those plays specifically, it was like there was no push in the middle. There was just no push. If you had a true 3 tech, imagine if you had a Jalen Carter, right? And again, they're not growing on trees. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, okay, let's just go get one. You gotta allocate resources. You got to comb through free agency. You got to comb through the draft from top to bottom and take multiple swings to find that next dude. But that's what you're really lacking, I think, in this defense. And it sounds like a broken record. We talked about it all year long. But I agree, Randy, next year will be better, man. No doubt in my mind. I'm excited for the offseason. I ain't going to lie. Godsmack AR69, appreciate you, buddy. Says, it sucks the season is over. But on the bright side, I'm sure we have our defensive coordinator of the future. The defense was damn good this year. Man, when you look at the final score here, 22-20 or 22-10, you think gave up 22 points in a playoff game. That's not great. But, man, seeing how the offense sputtered all day long, I thought the defense played really good. How did you guys feel about that? And I don't know if it's stuck out to you guys too, but Cooper, I mean, he's just everywhere. Mm-hmm. It just seems like every time you need a play, that's the dude that's around the ball.
Let's be real. The defense is the reason why we didn't lose this game 52-10.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, we were down 10-0 at halftime, guys. Mm-hmm. Like we should have been down 28-0 at halftime. So a lot of that is due to the defense. And again, we have to exercise some patience there, right? First year with Hafley in this staff, in this scheme, got a lot of first and second year players in this system. Got to have a little bit of patience, guys. There's no reason to freak out yet. I think the defense was damn good this year. I totally agree.
Yeah, completely different defense from when we played them the first game. Like we said, 4 different starters. I think that was absolutely huge. You could see, I think Saquon was a little surprised about how Coop closed on him a couple of those, swing passes or, stretch runs, stuff like that. Really nice to see him out there. And, I think that having him and Quay in there, the amount of speed that we have inside helps this defense tremendously. And really, the defense gave up 3 points. I mean, having the ball placed on the 25 for the offense for 5 seconds into the game is tough, right? So that 7 I'm not putting on them because they kept us in it until, past the middle 8 into the third. So it's, really a great performance by them.
Yeah,
absolutely. We got Jordan Love at the podium, Clay, I think.
Let me hit these super chats. I don't want them to sit too long, man. We're all backed up here, and I want to get everybody's voices heard here. We can always pull that up here in a minute. I seen it too, and I started to go, but I'm like, these people are paying money to have a conversation with us. Let's hit these real quick, okay? Even if some of them we disagree with, obviously. Nate Dogg says, get rid of our trash wide receivers. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat, Nate. Appreciate you, man. Mike Witt with the super chat says, after this year, is Matt LaFleur on the hot seat? He's becoming the Marty Schottenheimer of his era, win in regular season games and choke in the playoffs. The reason I think that I give Matt so much grace is, first of all, he's top 10, borderline top 10 now, probably around 12th all time in winning percentage, right? And what Mike Witt's pointing out here is, hey, but he chokes in the big games. Look at his starting lineup tonight. Think about it. He's without his number 1 receiver. His left guard goes down fairly early, right? His kick returner fumbles the opening kickoff. Does all this fall at the feet of the head coach? It technically does. But who's the guy you're replacing him with? Think about the most recent hires in the NFL. Let me give you an example. Some fans, and I'm not saying this is Mike Witt, but some fans would probably say, hey, give me John Harbaugh, right? Or is it Jim Harbaugh, with the Chargers. They got their asses kicked this weekend. You guys see that game? They got boat raced, right?
All that press, man.
Yeah. So it's like, who are you replacing him with? Now, I've made a joke to the guys here. Andy Monday, Schottenheimer was 2-13 in the playoffs. Stop smoking crack with your grandma. Mike Witt is not a crackhead. I just want to point that out, okay? And I appreciate the stat there, though, Andy. That was very good of you to pull that up. God, where was I going, man? The smoking crack with the grandma.
Just three.
I'm 42 years old, and I've never heard someone say stop smoking crack with your grandma. And I'm from Kentucky. There's probably some grannies out there hitting that pipe. I'm just saying. But
that was all Emilio. I got a beer in my hand. That wasn't me.
Tim's in the IPA tonight. He said, hey, look, it's the end of the year. You got to celebrate the end of the year.
Yeah, drink them if you got them. Let's go.
Oh, man. Now, do I think he's on the hot seat? I don't. And I know where I was going. I seen a tweet. Somebody said, don't let Matt LaFleur on the flight and get me this guy. And it showed Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame. And you guys know I'm a Matt LaFleur stan. I immediately went, Marcus Freeman, being a Notre Dame guy. But no, Matt LaFleur is not on the hot seat by no stretch of the imagination. Again, if he had a huge build-out roster, right, I can see the argument. You go, hey, man, look, they gave you every resource, but you've got the cheapest wide receiver room in the league, right? Mm-hmm. You've got the youngest roster in the league. You've got a quarterback who just finished his second year as a starter. You were without your number one cornerback most of the year, right? Your highest paid defensive player, not named Kenny Clark. Injuries play a role, but injuries play a role with every team, like we always say. Yeah, I don't think he's on the hot seat. You guys think he's on the hot seat?
Negative. Hard negative. I mean, Mike Tomlin is just now getting on the hot seat. He's made the playoffs every year. And Matt's missed it once, right? So, there's no shot.
That's the other thing. Like, imagine if you fired Matt LaFleur, right? And you said, okay, who are you bringing in? If Mike Tomlin was available, you know how many fans would go get me Mike Tomlin? Guys, he's lost 8 straight playoff games. So I don't know who you're replacing him with. And that's why I like to respond with a question like that. Going, you know what? Let's try to see it from there. Who do you want to bring in? I don't know. Just get me somebody.
Didn't they say the same thing about Mike McCarthy, either in Green Bay or in Dallas now? Like, the Dallas fans are trying to say the same thing, that he gets into the playoffs and loses. I mean, one team wins it at the end of the year. It's
yeah, definitely. Nick McSwain in the chat says, team goes 11-6 and makes the playoffs with the youngest team in the league, but loses in the first round. Fire everyone, cut everyone, fire.
Thanks, Nick.
Fire Joe Barry.
Nick speaking my mind for me. Thank you.
And again, I'm not, no disrespect to Mike. Again, I want to say, right, he's asking, is he on the hot seat? And he's drawing that parallel with someone like Marty Schottenheimer that couldn't win that big game. I don't think that's an unfair comment. You asked us to answer it. I'm definitely answering it with, I think Emilio said it best, a hard no, So thank you for the super chat, Mike. Appreciate you. Biz 1987 said, boys, here's $2. This chat's out of control tonight. So
appreciate it, Biz.
Nick McSwain says, LOL, if y'all are melting down because the Packers lost the game, you need to reevaluate.
Amen. Nick McSwain dropping gems tonight. Love it.
Yeah. King Tron with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, Clay, 5+ times this past month said, not our year. FOH. Thank you, King Tron. Appreciate
you. Tron got everybody's back. I love it.
I was thinking, man, was I drunk on the pod that I thought I said that? But appreciate the super chat, man. Elder Grimm, super chat. Appreciate you. He says, Cooper, our number one guy on defense, says PFF post-game 81.5, man. He's a real deal, dude. He is a real freaking deal. A full off season this year, another full off season. No, his first full off season, right? Get the green dot slapped on him. Make him your mic. And let's roll with this thing. Let's roll, because that's the centerpiece too. We talk about positions of importance. Left tackle, I don't know how you guys feel. I feel great about Rasheed Walker, especially for the price. Jordan Love, where the question mark isn't there for me, but I don't think it's unfair for people to ask that question. Is Jordan Love the guy, right? And I know people say, oh, you paid him, you gave him the bag. You got to, guys. That is basically a 2 to 3 year deal is what that comes out to. This isn't a Deshaun Watson type contract. I want to see him again next year with a fully healthy year, right? No MCL nagging and all that stuff. I wish we could get that dude to scramble the way he needs to scramble, because there's plays, there's yardage on the field that he's passing up on, trying to scramble to pass rather than, hey, here's 8 yards, let me take it and get on the ground. That's the tough part for me. But, yeah, completely agree, Eldergrim. Cooper, we found our guy there, no doubt, man. Biz1987, appreciate the super chat again. He says, definitely a learning experience. Let's get better. Amen to that, man. Like the positivity. King Tron with the super chat. Praying for 9, 7, 23, 11, 73. Devastated for Josh. And I feel so gutted for X and JJ. They have brought so much to us. Need depth at O-line. Amen to that. And it's funny that the people that just love Cooper DeJean and they think, oh, my God, Cooper DeJean. I can't believe we passed up on Cooper DeJean to draft Jordan Morgan. You can't help the fact that Jordan Morgan got hurt, right? So all this stuff that we're talking about needing depth at offensive line, Goody seen that and tried to do that, and the guy got hurt. What are you going to do, right? And also made him change a position. That's on the coaching staff more than Goody, in my opinion. So said need depth at O-line and cornerback so bad. Also need that 3-tech bad. 2024 pack is scary. I'd start with the 3-tech. I think you could add some depth at the O-line and some depth at the offense or at the cornerback position too, which we have that listed as the number 2 need according to our fans when we did the poll question, right? So,
and add to that Kingtron number 8 and number 87. I mean, it's what's that? 8 people right there.
Yep.
Just
crazy. Think about
just within the. I mean, besides C-Dub, Scoot, and Ja, that all happened that game. That's brutal. So 6 out of those 8 we lost in just that game. That's attrition right there. I mean, it's brutal that it happened to us and tough because you see them pour their hearts out. That's all they've given, all year, and just see them go down like that is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it is, man, for sure. Again, King Tron, thank you for the super chat. Nick McSwain, been a member for 9 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Says K9 recovered that fumble. Still love this team. Go Pack, go. Man, can we talk about that for a second, boys? Is it the reason we lost? I don't know. I don't think so. But first of all, leading with the crown of the helmet, I thought that was a penalty. I had some people say, no, it's not when it's a normal ball carrier. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know this, though. When a player is laying flat on his back with both arms on the ball while a defender is trying to reach in and grab it, I don't understand how he doesn't have possession of that football. Am I off base there? Or am I just being a whiny Packer fan here?
No, that's 100%.
No, I think the entire world is still trying to figure that out. I think you're still seeing Twitter blow up about that.
Yeah, like even if you want to debate the helmet to helmet, right? We would call that a bang bang play or
whatever. Burks too, trying to crown old Packers guys. Like, okay, buddy, all right. Yeah,
but like the fumble not being recovered by Philly is totally accurate. I mean, he was on the ground with possession, then they punched it out. He recovered his own fumble. That's how I look at that play.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me too. And then once the pile happened, it was like, oh crap. You never know what's going to happen underneath that pile. And that's why when they reviewed it, right, I thought, okay, we're good. They'll see. He's got both. I don't know what the hell they're looking at with the reviews. And you guys remember when we looked at Brad Allen's statistics, what did we say? They favor – Did you guys see it all night when they showed him on camera? I could not stop seeing that camera. So anyway, Brad Allen's stats were I don't know if they can hear me when we're playing it. Hopefully they can, but the stats suggested that he leaned toward the home team, right? And that's kind of what you seen. You did all night. I know you guys talked about the interception at the end of the end zone where Bo Melton's being tackled and there's no flag, right? I seen that too. I can see that it should have been a pass interference, but it's just tough, man. It's tough. But agree, Nick. I think he recovered that ball too. I'm glad everybody in here agrees on that. Jen, let's see Mike Witt again with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Hard to be optimistic and positive about this team, Clayton. Matt LaFleur coached horrible this year. But if you're honest, people call you a hater. What a joke. Did we call him a hater? I don't think did we call Mike a hater?
No, I think you were trying to protect Mike when he was asking the question of is Matt LaFleur on the hot seat. I thought you were trying to protect him, but
okay. Yeah, Mike, I'm not calling you a hater, man. If that's what you think, not at all. He said what a joke, so I guess that's what he thought.
I mean, I don't think Matt coached horrible. We were 11-6, and we lost to, basically the Lions and the Vikings and the Eagles. I'm sorry we had that one loss to the Bears. I really am, but. We've lost. I really am too. It sucked. Right. Yeah. We lost to 3 playoff teams. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
disappointing season, right? It's a disappointing end of the year and a lot of disappointment, but I wouldn't say MLF coached horrible this year, guys. Come on, let's be real.
We potentially could be losing to all 3 divisional round teams. Like the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Lions can all be in the divisional round next week, and we could have lost to all 3. Like that could have been the majority of our losses. So we're mad at that. I don't know why we got to be mad at that. I think that's a big learning experience for this team.
And again, I don't see how when you say he coached horrible this year. How the hell did we win 11 games? Like how did we win 11 games, and how did we have a top 10 offense? And some would say a top 5 defense, but he coached horrible. That, can you say parts of his game were horrible? His challenging, let me be negative. Can I be negative for a minute?
Yeah.
His challenge flag skills suck.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that.
Jet sweeps on 4th and 2, that sucks.
That sucked.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready to say he's a horrible coach, man. Again, you don't hover around the top 10 all-time winning percentage and be a horrible coach, right? At least that's my opinion. We can agree to disagree there. Mike, thank you for the super chat. Sorry if you thought I was calling you a hater, man. I don't think I called you a hater, but appreciate you, man. Jen Wright in the chat, member for 8 months. Still love this team and my posse. Amen to that. I'll tell you, there's some people reading this chat going, man, this is negative. Go to some other live stream. We're the positive ones. I promise you that. But appreciate you, Jen. Thank you for hanging around. Thank you for being a member for 8 months. You're awesome. Daniel with the super chat. Thank you, Daniel. He says early 23 love averaged with late 23 equals 24 love.
I get it. I get what you're saying there.
That's a good point. I mean, think about it. The first half, he was horrible. The second half, he was unbelievably great.
So what are we talking about? Brass tacks. We're talking about inconsistency, right? That's really what this boils down to. And that's something that Jordan's got to work on, being consistent throughout the year and down the stretch.
So the question, I'll tell you, you're going to get the answer next year because you've seen a good half, you've seen a bad half, and this year you've seen kind of melt. If we get the same exact performance next year from Love, I'll be the first one to say he's not one of those top-tier franchise quarterbacks. I'll be the first to say it. I'm just not quite there yet. That's what sucks about the whole season is like we're kind of right back where we started at the quarterback position. At least I am, personally. It's like, is he the guy? Emilio, Tim, you guys think he is? I think he can be, but I'm definitely not convinced that he is,
I remember we were talking about that too. It's like at the end of the year, are we going to be at 50%, 75 or 100? Right. And I think we're kind of still back to bouncing between 75 and 50.
Right.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's such an important position. Listen, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if they pull the trigger on a quarterback if the right one falls to them in the draft too. Now, there'll be half the fan base ready to string Goody up by his toenails, don't get me wrong. But that's definitely a real possibility too. It is. CJM, and thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. CJM with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, looking forward to year 2 off season with you guys. Draft will be here in 3 months. The draft's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. In Green Bay, it's going to be epic. When we made the decision to go and we were like, you know what, let's do it. Let's get a B&B. Let's get the guys up there. Let's do a live show. I was talking to Mandy. Mandy was all 110% in. I'm trying to I don't want my love for football to sway a bad decision, right? And I'm like, let's think. And then it hit me. I went, there probably won't be another draft in Green Bay for 32 years.
Yep.
Clayton will be 73. Somebody will be wiping my ass the next time there's a draft.
You'll be looking like this guy.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get up there. So I'm excited to meet a lot of the fans and have a good time with the draft. It's going to be fun, man, for sure. Thank you, CJN. Appreciate you, buddy. Badger Trio with the super chat says, I don't think Love ever was 100% physically. And, you got to be careful with that, Trio, because when you say that, there's going to be fans that go, he isn't hurt. Quit saying he's hurt. Quit saying he's hurt. I'm with you. Something didn't quite seem right because you talked about this on the pregame, Amelia. I think it was you. We haven't seen him scramble the way he did last year, right? And run with the football. I remember the play, I think it was against the Saints, where he dives over. No, it wasn't the Saints, the Vikings, New Year's Eve, where he dives over a defender into the end zone and lands on his head and everything. You haven't seen that this year, right?
And he ran it once. He ran it once. You see him lay out for the first down. I mean, that's that kind of drive. We just needed it a couple more times. When you're running up to the line of scrimmage, you're looking left to hit Emmanuel Wilson. I need you to kind of duck your head and run there. Even if you go and slide, give me 3 yards in a first, give me 3 yards forward.
Yeah. Definitely. Mike Hebring with the Super Chat. Appreciate you. But he says, go Rams. That's a good question. With the Packers eliminated, who y'all rooting for now? Who do you want to see win the whole thing?
I don't care. Anybody who beats Detroit or Minnesota.
Yes, exactly. That's the first thing I thought too, Tim. I just want those two teams to fall flat on their face. But I do love Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay's a class act. And I know him and Matt LaFleur are real close, real good buddies.
Didn't Sean McVay get some heat for him not ever winning, Clay? I'm not sure, but hey.
Yeah, bro. You kidding me? Yeah, it was